I'm Jayord, 45, a school bus driver in a small town you've probably never heard of. I've been doing this job for over 15 years. But I never imagined that one small act of kindness would grow into something much bigger. Rain or snow, bitter winds or fog, I'm there before dawn. Unlocking the gate, climbing into that creaky yellow beast, and warming it up before the kids pile in. It's not glamorous, but it's honest work. And those kids, they're the reason I show up every single day. I thought I'd seen every kind of kid and every kind of parent. But nothing prepared me for what happened last week. Last Tuesday started like any other morning, except the cold was worse than usual, the kind that crawls up your spine and settles into your bones. My fingers stung just from fumbling with the bus key. I puffed warm air into my hands, climbed up the steps, and stomped the frost off my boots. All right, hustle up. Get in quick, kids. The weather's killing me today. The air's got teeth, GRRR. I called out, trying to sound stern but playful. Laughter bounced down the sidewalk as the kids boarded, bundled in jackets and scarves, boots clunking like tiny soldiers. The usual cheerful chaos. You're so silly, Gerald. A small voice piped. I looked down. Little Marcy, 5 years old, bright pink pigtails, stood with her mittened hands on her hips like she ran the place. Ask your mummy to get you a new scarf, she said, eyeing my fraying blue one. I leaned in and whispered, Sweetie, if my mama were still alive, she'd get me one so pretty it'd make yours look like a dish rag. I'm jealous. She giggled and skipped to her seat. That tiny exchange warmed me more than the heater ever could. After the morning drop-off, I stayed behind, like I always do, checking for forgotten homework or stray mittens. Halfway down the aisle, I heard a small sniffle from the back. Hey, I called softly. Someone still here? A little boy 7 or 8 sat huddled against the window. His thin coat was pulled tight, backpack on the floor. Buddy, you okay? Why aren't you in class? He didn't look up. I'm just cold. I knelt beside him. Can I see your hands? He hesitated, then held them out. My breath caught his fingers were blue, stiff, swollen at the knuckles. Without thinking, I tugged off my gloves and slid them onto his tiny hands. They're too big, I said, but they'll keep you warm for now. He sniffed. Mummy and Daddy said they'll get me new ones next month. The old ones ripped. But it's okay. Daddy's trying hard. I felt a lump in my throat. Oh, no, that quiet kind of struggle. Well, I know a guy, I said with a wink. Sells the warmest gloves and scarves you've ever seen. I'll grab some for you after school. Deal. His face lit up. He hugged me suddenly, then dashed toward the school. That day, I skipped my coffee run and headed to a small shop. Janice, the owner, helped me pick out a thick pair of gloves, and a navy scarf with yellow stripes looked like something a superhero would wear. I spent my last dollar without hesitation. Back on the bus, I found an old shoebox and placed the gloves and scarf inside. On the lid, I wrote, If you're cold, take something. Gerald, your bus driver. I didn't tell anyone. It was just my quiet promise. Later, I saw that same boy carefully take the scarf. He didn't say a word. Neither did I, but he smiled when he got off the bus. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. A few days later, the principal called me into his office. I thought I was in trouble. Instead, he smiled. Jarrell, what you did meant the world to that little boy. Ad and his father is a firefighter recovering from an injury. They've had a tough winter. Your kindness reminded us what community looks like. We've started a fund. Coats, boots, gloves, scarf stake, what you need, no questions asked. All because of you. Word spread fast. A bakery dropped off boxes of hats and mittens. Parents donated coats. A retired teacher knitted wool caps. Janice promised 10 pairs of gloves every week. Soon my little shoebox had become a whole bin. Kids left notes inside. Thank you, Mr. Gerald. Now I don't get teased for not having gloves. I took the red scarf. It's really warm. Each message made my heart swell, too. One afternoon, Aidan ran onto the bus, waving and drawing me in front of the bus, surrounded by smiling kids with scarves and gloves. Thank you for keeping us warm. You're my hero, it read. I taped it beside the wheel. A week later, Aidan's aunt approached me, thanking me with a card and a gift card from the whole family. Then came spring. A school assembly. Mr. Thompson invited me on stage. The kids erupted in applause. He announced that the Warm Ride project based on that little shoebox was now district-wide. Every bus, every school had a bin. No child would walk into class with numb fingers again. Then he introduced the man whose family I helped most. A tall man in a firefighter uniform walked onto the stage, steady but cautious. Mr. Gerald, Aidan said proudly, this is my dad. The man shook my hand. I'm Evan. You didn't just help my son. You helped us through our hardest winter. Your kindness. It saved me too. The applause washed over us, but all I felt was real pride. I used to think my job was just to drive kids safely from one place to another. But it's more than that. It's about seeing people. It's about small gestures that ripple outward and change lives. One pair of gloves. One scarf. One child who no longer hides his hands. I've never been proud of the job I do, and the person I've become because of it.